Is justice truly blind when the gavel's rhythm slows to a crawl? Let's dissect the shocking delays behind the bench in Osceola County's legal system.
Judge John Beamer in Osceola County faced public reprimand for delayed judgments, with some cases pending for over 2 years, David. Despite attributing delays to personal issues, a broken arm, and unfamiliarity with the domestic law, Beamer's backlog led to a warning from the commission regarding public trust. Let's go.
All right. Wow. Why is Judge John Beamer a familiar name?
Oh, let's see. That would be because he was appointed by the governor.
Check.
Beamer's a familiar name because there's two judges by that name.
Double check.
Okay, and let's see. Judge Beamer ran against Michael Stewart, who was a qualified lawyer that basically said that he wanted to run on the face of it's just not right that these people get appointed and can't keep up with their own workload or do the things that wait, or might not be able to do the job or be familiar with the job.
Well,
Well, is that what Michael Stewart said? Because that's what just happened.
a prophecy comes true, and it is in the light now. In full disclosure, we did run, which I believe was a successful campaign for Michael Stewart for circuit court judge against Judge Beamer, despite the fact that Michael did lose. However, when you compare Michael's results to his peers who ran against other incumbents, Michael by far did much better, much better.
Well, we can break that down. So, if people want to learn about judicial races, typically an appointed judge, a judge that's already there, has the advantage, which Judge Beamer did have because he was
Correct.
appointed. And there were things that were pushed, like, okay, the governor's popular, so let's make sure that we use, hey, he was appointed by Governor Ron DeSantis. That
Correct.
that that was one of those things you shouldn't be doing, but they were doing, and they were fighting with our client because our client was trying to gets as close to the envelope, or to as close to that line as possible too,
True.
because he wanted to make sure that people were realized that the only way you could get favorable treatment in this case was to be part of the Federalist Society, and that those were the only judges that were being moved by the current administration. So beyond that, this is a case where um, the opponent was correct that the judge was not going to be able to keep up with the workload. The judge wasn't familiar with what was going on, and is Judge Beamer, you know, just being treated differently because all he's being is being overseen, he's being reprimanded. His work is basically being given a pass anyways because it didn't catch up his work.
That's right.
He's just being supervised now.
Right.
So does that mean that he gets more people to help him do the job?
It
I mean,
appears so.
then what have we done? We've basically given him a crutch,
Pretty
even though
much.
he needs a sling.
Right. I think he's in remedial training to help him manage his caseload or also learn his new duties. However, it's one of those moments, to put it quite frankly, we told you so. And this particular issue of maintaining the caseload did come up in the campaign. We hope that Judge Beamer is doing better after the broken arm and everything, that he's healed properly. However, the complaints in regards to the delays with Judge Beamer starting back as far back as 2021 cannot be ignored.
Well, I think for me, the takeaway here um, is to look at all judges. I mean, we have judges like Judge Culver up in Seminole County, who you have to look at a really nice guy, really on his way up and comer, and then he gets in, and then all of a sudden he's under, you know, he's lashing out at people, being rude, and he's in trouble because
Mm,
he doesn't have the temperament. Oh, okay. So there's a temperament problem with, or supposed problem with Culver. You have this one can't keep up with his workload. I'm sorry you broke your arm, but that doesn't mean that somebody's justice has to wait 2 years, and that you're working with domestic. This is something that needs to be done quickly because
that's true.
this is you put people in danger. I mean, I don't know which cases that we're talking about, but when you talk about domestic, some of these things, there might be violence involved. I don't know exactly what this entails,
Sure.
but hey, if you're not on top of this stuff, it could get dangerous real quick. So I'm sorry that he couldn't do it, but this should never happen. This should never be a situation where our judges aren't keeping up with their workload.
Um, allegedly, well, not allegedly, this is official. The chief judge met with Judge Beamer at the time in March 2023. As of March 2023, Judge Beamer had 24 cases with judgments pending for longer than 60 days. So it does speak to like the safety issue also, and needing some resolution. Seven of those cases have been pending for over a year, and then three pending for more than 2 years. Uh, we're all constitutionally, are guaranteed the right to a speedy trial or whatever Judge Beamer's doing.
Well, most people waive that speedy trial,
Right.
but uh, look, this is this is where I get in trouble because like there are people that are good friends with Judge Beamer. I have a lot of people in my circles that I'm sure are on his defense, and there probably are reasons for this stuff. But I want to be firm in the fact that no matter how much my friends like the judge, how much they have respect for him, uh, I have this hope that we don't run into these problems and that people are aware of what judges are doing. This is going to be a judge that's had a problem being reprimanded and will run again and will be elected because he's a judge. And this is where you need to be paying attention, voters, that you vote
True.
from the bottom to the top, that you know who your judges are.
That's 100% true, and it's something that we've talked about here at JW is people being increasing their civic engagement IQ and being more involved in the election cycle and understanding the individuals who are running for reelection or running for election for the first time. Um, it's important that you do your research, you do your homework, and you understand there's no excuse. We have the internet now, and there's no excuse in taking a little bit of time away from your TikToks, your Instagram, and so forth and so on, and researching those individuals, particularly those individuals who are running for reelection as a judge or running for the first time, or second, or third, or fifth, and never made it. This is really important because we're seeing a lot of issues more than ever being, I guess, debated in the court of law.
Yeah. So David, I kind of want to take this and I want to kind of take it in a different route. You're the more of the political. Uh, no, I mean you're the consultant. I mean that's something that your role is very good at. I'm more of a marketing PR kind of person. I try to take what you develop and enhance it. That's really or get you the product that you need out there. But saying that, I want to talk to the judges and I want to talk to those that are actually thinking about this. It shouldn't be one or two people running against the judge. We should have more increased participation. I want to also say that there are firms like our political innovation that can help you as a lawyer if you're interested in taking on these challenges. We have been beat up. I've taken heat from my own party, but let's look at working with you if you're interested. If you're interested in this and you've been hesitant, we can tell you the pros, the cons, the insides, the outsides. We can tell you how people have you can't do this on the cheap either. You have to be willing to invest not only your heart and soul, but your time and money. So it's not, it's something that you should be looking at. We don't have a lot of time if you're looking at it, but maybe you don't want to do it this year. Maybe you want to do it in the next cycle. But look at somebody like David and his techniques and some of the things that tools that we're coming out with to help you. So honestly, this is a situation where we can highlight the fact that you did bring Michael Stewart within a margin that is so different than the typical race. It showed that there was effort. They were worried that he was going to lose because we were making strides and having momentum, and it was a good race.
Right. It was a very good race, and
So
and you're right. We brought techniques that in judicial races you typically will not see, and we have even more resources and techniques and tools to run a more successful judicial race. And when we did the prelude to the Leadership Academy, we had Michael Stewart sit and talk to us about his experience. And we played that video in the past, and it should be available. And Michael, thought about what more he could do. If he had all the money in the world, he'll do a lot more of the mailers that he mentioned. However, we did accomplish something very unique, and it was because of the innovative minds behind his campaign, and of course with Michael, that we had some success in that race.
yeah, and this is not and honestly, if you're an avid watcher of You Can't Make This Shit Up, you can't make this shit up, right? But if you're a watcher, you know that I don't typically go on a hey, make this into an advertisement for
Mm.
the for Jay in Washington. But Jay, I want you to know that I've seen it firsthand. I understand that there's a reluctance for people to run, but we shouldn't have delays in our court system.
Amen.
And if you're thinking about be your hard charger, you know your job and you worked hard and you think you can do it and you're only hesitant because you don't know those people, well, only people you need to know are the voters and get to know them. So like, share, but get involved.
Indeed. We love to hear what you have to say. We want to communicate with you. We want to communicate with our community. We want to share our thoughts. Let us know what you think. Bring your facts, not your feelings, and let's continue this conversation. We're your political innovators. We don't have all the answers, but we are open to having that conversation about getting to more solutions. So, please, like Joel said, like, share, hit the subscribe button, notification button, all that good stuff. This is the J&W Network. That's Joel. I'm David. We're out of here.